Morning, everyone, and welcome to the County of Berks Commissioners Board meeting on February 1st of 2024. Call the meeting to order at 1 after 10, and we'll start the meeting today. Just wanted to let everyone know Commissioner Leinbach is joining us online. He was not able to join us in person, but he is joining us online. So let us stand and let's observe a moment of silence followed by the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, get started here. I will ask Anne Marie Grill, Commissioner Leinbach's Executive Assistant, to read the public notice.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Okay, thank you, Anne Marie. And to start our meeting, we will have a presentation by the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, and they will provide a 2023 year-end update, and it will be brought by Lucine Sahelnick, former Commissioner Sahelnick, who is now the President and CEO of the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, and we also have Aaron Gantz, who is the Senior Director of Economic Development. We have other GRCA staff in attendance. We have Deb Millman, Esquire, who is President of the Greater Reading Greater Berks Development Fund and Vice President of GRCA. Kayla Hayek. Is it?
Like Selma.
Kayla Hayek, who is the Director of Lending and Business Outreach, and Katie Hetherington Cunfer, the Director of Government and Community Relationships for GRCA. Welcome, all of you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your partnership.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera, and good morning to everybody, to the commissioners and to all county staff and team members who are here and our new row officers. It's nice to see you in person. This is a wonderful opportunity and a great reintroduction. I am not new to this foray and just really proud and happy to be here representing our organization and our team. This is an update highlighting the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance's economic development work in 2023. And a little bit of a preview telling you where we're headed in 2024. And in addition to the generous support of the County of Berks, which we are very grateful for in your partnership, we are pleased to have over 40 private sector economic development investors. So if we move forward in the slides, we do have a representation. And here, of course, you see the County of Berks, along with Customers Bank, East Penn, Enersys, Fulton Bank, Herbine. If we continue to move forward, we'll see how they are supporting our mission-based economic development work of our organization. In the next two slides, it continues. And then also we see our silver investors after our gold investors. And we appreciate your ongoing support, of course, and the partnership of the economic work that the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance does and undertakes. Our organization is committed to being a strong partner in implementation of the Imagine Berks plan. And that Strategic Economic Development Action Plan is really what we work with in tandem and parallel to move that needle here in economic development in Berks County and Greater Reading. So before I turn it over to Aaron Gantz, who's our Senior Director of Economic Development, I know that you did introduce the team, but I just want to once again go through. First and foremost, our new Director of Lending and Business Outreach, Kayla Hayek, is here. And thank you, Kayla. I'm so glad that we've been able to start together. So that's really an absolute joy. And then we also have Deborah Millman, who's our Vice President of Development and President of the Greater Berks Development Fund. We have Katie Hetherington Cunfer, who's a Director of Government and Community Relations with us. And for those of us who aren't here, we have a lovely team, almost 20 strong. And I encourage the familiarity since we are right across the street, so hopefully we can come and engage as often as possible. So this time I'm going to turn it over to Aaron Gantz to continue with the presentation we've prepared for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. So if we could advance to the next slide, we can get started. Thank you. So before I dive into GRCA's work, I always like to highlight all of the great things that are happening in our community. And we have a lot of economic development success to celebrate in 2023. We were once again ranked in the top 10 best places to live in Pennsylvania, as well as to retire. The Reading Regional Airport ranked in the top 10% of all Pennsylvania airports. The Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority was accepted into the Federal Rail Administration's Corridor ID program right before the end of the year. The Imagine Berks plan marked 1 year of implementation, and many great placemaking projects are underway or were completed, including the Goggleworks Art Park, the Keith Haring Fitness Court at Kutztown University, and a project like the Kutztown Strand Theater is set to be revitalized. And we were really pleased to work alongside Kutztown Community Partnership to secure local share account dollars for that project. Many new businesses opened in our community. I'm just going to name a few because there's a lot, but Tractor Supply in Shoemakersville, 7 Brew Coffee in Sinking Spring, and Winnie Tea Bar located in West Reading opened their second location in Muhlenberg Township. So it's just a couple feel-good points for all of us to really reflect on from 2023. Next slide, please. So in 2023, our organization worked collaboratively with the County Department of Community and Economic Development with 117 plus industry diverse companies in Berks County on growth, retention, and attraction. Those companies represent 21,000 potential new and retained jobs in our community. And as we were talking to companies throughout the year, some top challenges were identified, and talent and access to capital were those two things that kept coming up regularly. And so we're really pleased that in 2023, we worked on nearly $5 million of funding for Berks-based businesses and organizations that include working with neighborhood housing services to fund 9 businesses through their small business loan program. We applied for over $1.4 million in grant applications for nonprofits and development projects. $925,000 were submitted to the Small Business Credit Initiative on behalf of Berks County companies, and 5 Pennsylvania Industrial Development loans, Pennsylvania Industrial Development Authority, or PIDA, loans were submitted totaling $2.1 million. Next slide, please. So we hear what companies are saying, and we've continued to really take a look at how we're approaching talent attraction and retention. And so in Q3 of last year, we launched a national talent attraction and retention campaign. And this work really aligns with the Imagine Berks talent and economic mobility focus area. Through the Meet Greater Reading brand, we're telling a story about our community. We're talking about what is next and best. Why living here and working here is great. We are selling the community. Next slide. And in turn, we are empowering companies through industry partnerships, roundtables, best practice sessions, and professional development opportunities where we've worked with over 180 companies in our community to be able to sell their company. Why would somebody want to work there? Of course, as we continue to embark on talent attraction and retention, we all know people need somewhere to live. And it's been a real pleasure to work with the Berks County Planning Commission, David Hunter and his team, as well as Jamie Perez on the regional municipal dinners that took place throughout 2023, as well as the Imagine Berks Housing Committee to work towards addressing the need for new and redeveloped housing that's both accessible and attainable. Next slide. We continue to support critical industries in Berks County. In partnership with the Department of Agriculture, we launched an interactive local food directory that features over 230 producers and farmers. The majority of these businesses are small business. They are small businesses. And we really love this because it showcases the diversity of ag and access to food in our community. And this, again, is a unique asset when we're talking about selling our community. You can see this on growtogetherberks.com. Next slide, please. In October, we hosted the biannual Building Berks Awards and Expo. This is an event that spotlights and celebrates innovation, positive growth, and development through projects across our community. This reinforces the story we continue to tell about Greater Reading. Our region is growing. This year, 30 nominated projects represented $148 million of investment, 1.2 million square feet of development, and 2,100 jobs created. All worth celebrating. Next slide, please. In October, our community hosted the Pennsylvania Economic Development Association Conference in downtown Reading at the DoubleTree. And it was really wonderful to tout all of the positive and innovative strategies, programs, and collaborations happening in our community to over 150 economic development peers across the Commonwealth. And I'm really pleased to be representing Berks County on the PETA board for one term. Next slide, please. So where are we headed in 2024? We're connecting, fostering, and strengthening the economic ecosystem in Berks County. Collaboration is the defining common thread for our work in 2024. GRCA will continue to serve as a partner in the Imagine Berks strategic plan, and our 2024 strategy reflects our role in that effort. We cannot do our work alone, and we will continuously seek out opportunities to work with individuals and organizations to enhance our mission and vision. Next slide. We'll continue to bolster industries by focusing on sectors with the potential to provide opportunity jobs. In addition to the talent campaign and strategy, GRCA will continue to work with our partners to make resources to start businesses and operate a business in Berks County successful. We're excited to continue our partnership with the County Department of Community and Economic Development on a number of robust data tools. Through data-backed narratives and storytelling, people, businesses, policymakers, and stakeholders have access to data and information to continue to make informed decisions. On the community development side of things, we're really pleased to have Deb Millman serving on the CRIS working group with the City of Reading as we position our city for potential designation. We'll continue to support the commercial corridors throughout our community with regular meetings with Main Street leadership, fostering connections to funding opportunities and elevating their efforts through our networks. And of course, transportation is major, and we'll continue to champion initiatives such as the local station analysis for the return of passenger rail, as well as transit-oriented development as we prepare the downtown for this great revival of our train. And we'll continue to support the growth and positioning of the Reading Regional Airport. That's what RRA stands for. We're really looking forward to diving deeper into Governor Shapiro's statewide economic development strategy that was just unveiled on Tuesday to ensure that we can identify resources that may become available. Next slide. Thank you. Commissioners, we really appreciate your time and would welcome any questions that you have at this time.
Thank you, Erin. Always great information. Don't have any questions, but I do want to thank you and the team for the work you do and for the partnership that you have with the county. Just looking at the presentation there's many things that you work on with the county, and maybe I never think, ag, but that's, a great partnership there. The passenger rail, you've been a very important partner also with Imagine Berks and other initiatives that the county has had. So really do want to thank you for that, for your work in helping making Berks better. And Lucine, looking forward to working with you this year as well. So looking forward to great things happening in 2024 and helping to continue move Berks County forward.
just very quickly, I just want to reiterate, thank you for your presentation. Very informative. As a new board member, it's important for me to learn as much what's going on in the business community as I can. So thank you for that. I also want to congratulate Lucine on her appointment and her new position. I wish you the best along with your team. And I certainly look forward to working with you in the years ahead. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. You're free to stay and enjoy the rest of our meeting if you want to. Okay, moving along with the approval of the minutes. Are there any changes, additions, or corrections to the January 18 minutes? If none, the minutes are approved. We did have a few executive sessions this week. Yesterday, we had a executive session on personnel, potential litigation, and contracts. And this morning we had, again, on personnel, potential litigation, and contracts as well. Are there any public comments on agenda items, either in person or online? And I can't go on my computer, so let me know if there's anything online. Okay. First item, authorizing from the Budget Department. Adopting a resolution authorizing the 2023 budget transfers in the amount of $619,400, 2023 appropriations in the negative amount of $28,768, and the 2024 budget transfers in the amount of $935,441, and 2024 appropriations in the amount of $7,300,307 per listing dated January 26 of 2024. Under Human Resources, adopt a resolution authorizing Human Resources recommendations dated February 1, 2024 as follows. Authorize the appointment of Jennifer Lesher to Video Conference Coordinator in the jail system effective 2/2 of 2024. Number 2, authorize the appointment of Joshua Massell to Assistant County Solicitor, Right to Know Officer, Election Services in the Solicitor's Department effective January 5th of 2024. Item number 3, authorize the appointment of Dairacelis Rodriguez Guzman to Forensic Interviewer in the District Attorney's Office effective February 14th of 2024. Item 4, authorize the promotion of Matthew Bohm from Network Engineer to Security Program Manager in Information Systems effective February 2nd of 2024. Number 5, authorize the promotion of Anthony Calderoni from Enterprise Support Technician to Business Process Analyst in Information Systems effective February 2nd of 2024. Under Purchasing, Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing a recommendation to award and further authorizing the Director of Contracts and Procurement to execute a contract as a result of invitation to bid number 2326 JR Grave Markers for a period of 2 months as follows. Air Quality Aluminum Foundry from Smoketown, PA. The annual estimated expenditure is $29,500. Under Commissioner Linebaugh, adopt a resolution reappointing Greg Eshelman, Moulton, Pennsylvania, as the Chair of the Agricultural Land Preservation Board for a 1-year term beginning January 1 of 2024. Under Commissioners, adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for Child Advocacy Centers subgrant award notification for the District Attorney's Office. The awarded funds will cover a portion of the salary, benefits for the CAC Director, and operating expenses. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the Director of Berks County Parks and Recreation, or in their absence, the Assistant Director of Berks County Parks and Recreation, to execute the Lower Alsace Township current application and any future applications for an annual burning permit for Antietam Lake Park. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of David Bean, Reading, Pennsylvania, to the Berks County Conservation District for a 4-year term, which will expire on December 31st of 2027. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing Christian Leinbach, Chair, to execute the First Amendment to Agreement ICA 252242-22 between the Council on Chemical Abuse and the County of Berks, engaging COCA to hold, manage, and administer additional opioid-related settlement funds and opioid-related bankruptcy funds awarded to the County of Berks from the Pennsylvania Opioid Misuse and Addiction Abatement Trust. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing Christian Leinbach, Chair, to execute the non-owned auto questionnaire as part of the Social Service and Healthcare Professional Liability Renewal Application for Berks County Children and Youth Services. And item F, adopt a resolution declaring an emergency relative to the juvenile detention bed crisis in Berks County, allowing the County of Berks to take the necessary steps to expedite the restoration of the Berks County Community Reentry Center for the potential reopening of a Berks County Youth Detention Center at the facility. I did not speak with Christine about this before, but I'm going to ask her to just explain a little bit about this, because this is a discussion we had at our operations meeting on Tuesday, and we voted to bring it for adoption today. So Christine, if you can just address this for a minute or two.
So this resolution was passed after a lengthy discussion that occurred on Tuesday regarding the current state of secure detention beds that exist not only in Berks County, but across the state of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, there is a limited number of beds available to Berks County, and as District Attorney John Adams explained, as well as Chief Probation Officer Dan Height explained, the Juvenile Probation Office is having to use alternative methods which are not in the best interest of the community or of the juveniles that are being placed in this position, in terms of having to house individuals in the adult probation office and the like. So this resolution, based on the crisis situation, will allow the County of Berks to move forward in an expeditious way in terms of rehabbing that building. Rex Levengood, our facilities director, explained that with going out for an invitation to bid, that would add an additional 3 to 4 months time frame to this whole procurement process. This process and declaring the emergency allows us to not utilize the bidding requirements, so that we can move forward this process in a more timely manner to get the potential reopening of the center up and on the board. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Yes, and we had about an hour and a half long discussion about this on Tuesday with key stakeholders in this process. And that is why, based on the information provided by Larry and Kevin, our COO and Deputy COO, we decided to move forward with this emergency declaration to be able to expedite the process based on the need that we have. And this isn't a need just in Berks County. This is a need that we have throughout the Commonwealth. We've heard it at the County Commissioners Association meetings. It's an issue we're having throughout the Commonwealth. So that's why we have this on the agenda here. Item number 2 is a motion to authorize execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated January 29 of 2024. And there is one item with multiple departments in there. There's one with the Area Agency on Aging, one with Children and Youth Services, 4 with the Commissioners, 1 the Coroner, 3 with Human Resources, 4 with the jail, and 1 for mental health and developmental disabilities. And item number 3 is a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending February 1st of 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve those items.
And I will second that. Any comments? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we will now move on to the reports of the treasurer and the controller, and we will start with Mitchell Darcourt, the county treasurer, and we have him in person here today. Mitch,
Thank you,
welcome.
Mr. Rivera.
Yeah.
Today we have an opening balance of $194
$975,153.00. We have a balance to clear of $5,145,270.84, leaving us with a balance of $189,829,882.16.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next, it will be Joe Rutterow, our controller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a little housekeeping here. I wanted to announce that for the week ending 1/25/2024, which was a meeting where there was no meeting, total accounts payable was $15,991,434.50. So I just wanted to make sure that that was put forth. For this week, for the week ending February 1st, we have a total accounts payable of $9,460,774.66. We have an employee payroll of $5,424,473.28 for a total cash disbursement of $14,885,247.94.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will now move to the report of the Chief Operations Officer.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera. Our operations team would again want to thank the board for approving the appointments and the promotions. Certainly helps us in our work. The appointment of Jennifer Lesher video conference at the jail adds another layer of efficiency for the jail as well as the court system. Joshua Marcel, who will be working with Christine and Cody, will certainly help us in election services and with our right to know process here in Berks County. So that's a great addition to the team. And the promotions of Matthew Boehm and Anthony Calderoni to really further enhance our efforts in our IT department. So again, thank you for helping us do our job.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to Commissioner comments, and I know Commissioner Leinbach is on the road, so I'd like to let him go first if he has any comments that he would like to provide. Commissioner Leinbach?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Rivera. I did try to vote on the agenda, and apparently I was muted, so for the record, if I can be included as an affirmative vote, I appreciate that. Appreciate as well all the work our solicitor's office did to prepare the resolution for the emergency declaration. I would encourage people, if they have an opportunity, to read it. It gives the detail of what is behind the emergency declaration. I want to note I've had several people reach out after I posted, I believe it's the Reading Eagle article on Tuesday's meeting, that I think have had a misunderstanding. There are two factors that have changed, well, two factors that led to the closure of the Youth Detention Center. At its peak, I believe the Youth Detention Center had somewhere around 80 juveniles. And the two things that occurred, one is still in place today, and that is to take juveniles with less serious offenses, and instead of putting them in detention, doing everything we can to provide in-home services, keeping them in their home. That has been shown to be most beneficial, and that has continued. What also happened was those that were more serious were being placed in private facilities. That's the piece that has broken down in recent years that was discussed in some real detail. And that's why when we look at numbers, we're not looking at a need for 80 beds for juveniles from Berks County. I think we're looking at more like 10 to 20 beds in that arena. So I just I did post that information on the website so that people understood why it was closed and what has changed, and what has changed is largely on the private sector. One other item, and we'll be posting this at our commissioner meetings, and I believe possibly operations meetings. Our next town hall is coming up on February the 20th. It will be at the Boyertown Community Library. It will begin at 6:30 p.m., end at 8 p.m. I believe all three commissioners are scheduled to participate, and for those that haven't been there, the format is very simple. The three commissioners give brief reports, and then we open it up to questions and answers. If we don't know the answer, we get the answer and we'll get back to the individual with the question. But that's coming up again on February the 20th. I don't have the calendar in front of me, but I think that is a Tuesday evening, Boyertown Community Library. That's all I have, Commissioner Rivera.
Okay, Commissioner Linebaugh, thank you very much. Commissioner Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple things. Tomorrow is my 1 month anniversary as a Berks County Commissioner, so it's been a whirlwind. I really enjoyed it. Trying to fill the shoes of Lucine. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but I'm trying. So giving it my best. Lynn and I have been touring along with some other county employees. I know Carmen was at the prison, so I just want to report on the Santoni tour schedule. I had the opportunity to tour our South Campus and met Miss Pam Mennett out there and others, and that was wonderful. Jeremy Zaborowski, the executive director of the Berks IDA, took us on a tour and told us some of the projects that they're working on. That was great. I also had an opportunity, as I mentioned, to go up to the prison, meet with Warden Smith and his team, and I thought that was a great experience, and some of the concerns and problems and challenges that they have up at the prison. And that was a great tour. Yesterday we visited SEI, which is our pension investment group, and we had an opportunity to visit their campus. Learn about our pension fund, and it's doing well, by the way. So that's great news. I was also appointed by the, as everyone knows, the board sits on the Reading Regional Airport Authority. I was appointed as their representative to the Reading Area Transportation Study Coordinating Committee. So I look forward to serving on that committee with Commissioner Rivera to meet the needs of the transportation issues. As we know, there are many here in Berks County. Chairman Linebaugh mentioned the town hall meeting that we're having on February 20th. We did have one in January up in Kutztown, and I just wanted to give a brief report on that. We had a nice, decent crowd up there to meet us, and the big issue up there is the warehouse and planning and zoning issues up there. So I want to thank Mr. Hunter, who's in the audience, who provided lots of good information and what the county can do and what they can't do. So I appreciated that. And I also want to give a shout out to Stephanie Williams, who is the system administrator for the Berks County Public Libraries. Our town hall meetings are going to be at libraries throughout Berks County during 2024. So we appreciate them and what they've done. Also had an opportunity to go back to my old stomping grounds up in Harrisburg, along with Commissioners Rivera and Linebaugh, to deal with the legislative issues of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. I'm glad that I have that opportunity to participate. Having the background as a former state rep, I think, can help me bring the needs of what the counties, not just here in Berks, but throughout the Commonwealth, need, and the help that we can get from Harrisburg. So I look forward to participating in that process. And I just want to make one final comment on the resolution. I know that that was a big issue. There is a crisis with regards to juvenile detentions, and I just wanted to make a brief comment. And I said it the other day at the ops meeting, and I know that there's costs involved in refitting the building and the staffing, and we need to take a look at that and be diligent, do our due diligence. But I also think that we need to look at the public safety, and from the information from the district attorney and the board of judges, I don't think that there's any greater responsibility of an elected official than the safety of their people that they represent. So I think it's very important. We're at the beginning of that process. We have ways to go, but I think it's important for us to address that issue, and I look forward to helping to create an atmosphere and get that up and running, and hopefully help the crisis that we have here in Berks County. So I appreciate your time, Mr. Chairman, and thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Santoni. Just to touch a little bit as well on the detention center, it was brought up on Tuesday and also at CCAP, because it is also one of the 8 priorities for the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. There's a little bit over 500 beds. I'm not sure what, maybe 511, 514 beds throughout the state. And of that, there are only about 360 that are available to be used. Right now, the county has 3 beds available for male youth and none for female, just because there aren't any beds available out there. And part of the reason that there aren't any beds is, one, lack of staffing. As you know, many of the 24/7 services provided are difficult to get staffing for right now. So this is an issue that, again, we're not only looking at here in Berks County, but we're also looking at statewide. But it is something, as Commissioner Santoni said, public safety is important. So we need to make sure that this is being addressed in the proper way. One other item I have here, want to add, is that last week we did not have the board meeting because both Commissioner Leinbach and I were at the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania at the retreat and board meeting as well. The Wednesday before that, all 3 of us were at the Capitol, and we presented the CCAP 2024 priorities, which are 8 of them, and I'll be talking more about that next Thursday. And then after we did that, we also had the opportunity to go meet with legislative staff as commissioners and discuss with them what the needs are in more detail and why those are the priorities for 2024. So that was something that was very beneficial, and we'll look at doing that sometime again early summer. Want to remind you that at 11 o'clock, we have our elections meeting. So that will be in 20 minutes. So there's another link to that. You can go back to the county website, find the link for that if you are joining us virtually. Okay. Is there any comments by the row officers?
I do not.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple notes. I, like Commissioner Santoni, have been getting around the county a bit. So I just wanted to say I did attend the town hall meeting in Kutztown. Encourage folks out in Berks County to get that on their calendars. It's a great access to the commissioners to raise concerns. And so I think their next one is February 20th. So I encourage people to do that. I thought it was great, nice turnout, and some really good questions. Some that the commissioners really couldn't solve because they weren't really issues that come before the commissioners. But I think there was a lot of good back and forth. Had an opportunity as well to visit South Campus. Amazing what's going on over there. Look forward to continue to see that as that develops. Also, the SCI tour, I think that was very important as a retirement board member to see that. I think, we certainly want to continue to root for the success of their investment strategies of the retirement money, the county money, the employee money that's in that retirement fund, because the better the fund does in the markets, the less burden it is on the taxpayers. And so, they have got a great organization, it seems to be, and was highly relieved to see that the money looks like it's in good hands, and look forward to many years of keeping an eye on that. And then last, I had an opportunity to go to the Berks County Farmland Preservation Board meeting last night. And I thought that was interesting. The controller is a part of the farmland preservation in terms of when it goes to settlement. So the controller's office attends the settlements when farms are enrolled into the farmland preservation. So I thought it would be interesting to see the other end of that. And so I had an opportunity to go. Got a lot of hardworking folks at the county ag and all the other stakeholders in that process, and look forward to continuing to get a better understanding of all that, but was pleasantly, I've enjoyed my opportunities to get around, and the boards have been very open and welcoming to visitors. They are open to the public, by the way, but not a lot of folks tend to make those meetings. So anyway, thank you. Just wanted to share a little update from the controller's office.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other row officers? Okay, if not, we will move on to public comment. Do we have any public comment in person or online? Anything, nothing in person? Okay, no public comments. Before we adjourn, just want to remind everyone that next Thursday, unless there's something happens and we need to change it, but next Thursday, all three of us will be presenting our 2024 priorities. We did have the chance to present that at a Greater Reading Chamber Alliance breakfast a few weeks ago, and we're looking forward to doing that to the general public now next Thursday. So next Thursday will be a little longer meeting than normal, but we will be presenting our 2024 priorities. Okay. If there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned.
Second.
Thank you very much.